Well. Hello everyone to Slow Damage. This is the next Nitro and Charvel game on our list. I was recommended this on Reddit. Thank you very much. People were voting for it, so I thought, yeah, okay, this is going to be the next one. Don't worry, Toga Ino no Chi will continue, but we're going to finish another route in Slow Damage first, and then we're going to head back into Toga Ino no Chi. Toga Ino no Chi will be back as soon as we finish one route here. So yeah, let's get into this. New canvas. I know nothing about this game, by the way, so let's go. Okay. Oh, pretty. Thank you for purchasing Slow Damage. Before we begin, here's a helpful explanation of the interrogation gameplay segments. Oh. You'll need this information because interrogation can be tricky. Yeah, I guess so. You'll be able to skip this tutorial on subsequent playthroughs. During an interrogation, as you speak to your target, try to fill the euphoria gauge. Euphoria? Doing so will progress the story. That's your ultimate objective in every interrogation. Okay, weird. Talk to him and try to expose a secret. The text you see in your memo pad will serve as a hint. Act accordingly to make progress in the interrogation. That being said, it's only a hint and isn't necessarily always the right choice. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Depending on the flow of the conversation and your target's body language, you may want to take things in a different direction. Oh my god, that's really interesting. I wasn't expecting this. Your choices will determine the outcome. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Oh, what a beautiful game. I can't believe I've never played this before. Hello. Next, let's talk about the hourglass and jagged lines. The hourglass represents your target's euphoria level. What does that mean? Fill the hourglass to the line at the middle and the sand will start glowing. This means you've achieved full euphoria. As you approach full euphoria, the red line will flash, letting you know you're almost there. The purple line at the bottom is the minimum baseline for euphoria. If the sand should fall below this line, okay, fall up this line, I guess. Like what? Okay, great. It will result in a game over, so be careful. Yeah. The sand will glow to warn you if you start to get too close. I suppose if sand falls the wrong way, it would be game over, wouldn't it? There's no more rules of the universe. The jagged line represents the target's madness. In other words, their emotional wounds. Oh. As their wounds are ripped open, madness will increase. Oh, that's... Wow, okay. At the blue fill line, you'll achieve full madness. As you approach, it will start glowing. At full madness... Bad end, huh? The hourglass will start to crack, like so. So, to recap, at full euphoria, the sand will glow, and at full madness, the hourglass will crack. But also glow. You said it would also glow, no? Wait, what? As the wound closes, madness will decrease. Okay. Achieving full euphoria will complete the interrogation. But full madness will lead to other paths and affect the ending. Yeah. Route branching only occurs during important story scenes, but the result of each interrogation will impact the euphoria and madness of the ones that follow. High euphoria will grant a euphoria bonus. Nice. I hope I'm going to do a good job. I'm already lost. Low madness will inflict a madness penalty. And high madness will grant a madness bonus. This concludes the Euphoria and Madness tutorial. Yeah, it was long enough. I feel like. To check your objective, move the cursor to the right-hand edge of the screen. That way you won't forget.
No.
This is us! Oh my god! We look amazing. Look at this dude. We got the pirate patch. We got the freaking renegade scar. We got the yellow eyes. We got the frosted tips. We are ready. I love that. Okay. You're the vampire everyone's talking about, right?
No.
I'm not a vampire. Wait, is this supernatural? During the interrogation, you can respond with negative or positive answers. Passive answers are negative, while more assertive answers are positive. This decision will affect your target's euphoria and madness. Their status is displayed at the bottom of the screen, so choose carefully to raise their euphoria. As for raising their madness, why don't you give it a try? Ugh, he looks truly miserable. We're going to be... they said to give it a try, so let's be negative and press him.
Negative.
Oh my god.
本当に
Even though you crave blood. Oh, we ripped open a wound. Ah! Here's where you use inspiration gained by talking to people in the exploration segments. Use inspiration to dig deeper or not, your choice. We'll talk more about exploration later. Using your inspiration will impact your target's euphoria and madness. In fact, it gives you a bigger boost compared to negative and positive answers. Additionally, inspiration has a few different patterns. 2 choice answers, A or B. Sequential questions, A to B. And even 2 choice answers, A or B, that lead to sequential questions, A to B, B to A. Oh god, I'm so lost. Oh god, just please let me play the game. If this all sounds confusing, don't worry. Yeah, use your inspiration whenever you see something you want to ask more about. And unlike negative or positive, you can always choose not to use your inspiration at all. Sometimes the best option is to say nothing at all. I feel like the best option would probably be to say nothing. However, I kind of really want to push him into madness, so totally miserable, man. You must be miserable. You want to drink blood, right? Yeah, totally miserable, bro. You must be miserable. Oh my god, this is very Persona kind of, right? Look at him, he's so pretty with a pink shade. It must be excruciating for you. Shut up. Yee. So it's ripped right open. Next, let's go over special objectives. Not target. See how the hourglass is painted over black? This tells you that euphoria is not the goal this time. When the hourglass is black, madness is the goal. And on rare occasions, the goal may be to avoid full madness. You'll have to judge for yourself depending on the circumstances. In situations where euphoria is not the goal, don't let the sound fall too low or it's game over. Okay. This time the hourglass has been repainted white. This means the goal has changed back to full euphoria. As you can see, the hourglass may often offer hints about the objective. Okay. Oh, look at them. They're so cute.
求めているものは
What you really want. This man's deepest desire. If you fill the euphoria gauge within the specified number of turns, you can use the clues acquired in the story to rip open your target's secret scars. Oh god. Pick the right clue and the wound will open, progressing the story. But be careful! The wrong choice will lower the euphoria gauge. If you haven't reached full euphoria, once it's time to choose a clue, game over. And if you fall below the euphoria line, that's game over too. Now, use a clue and see if you can open this man's secret scar. Thirsty? What?
喉が渇く
Okay. Oh my god. Oh! Oh my god, that's very visceral. That is very visceral. Jesus. Wow. Okay. This concludes the interrogation tutorial. If you'd ever like a refresher, check the interrogation section of how to play. Jesus! Without further ado, welcome to Slow Damage. Yeah, now I understand the name. Thank you. Oh my god. We're psychopaths. We're playing as a psychopath. Oh god. Okay. Well then. Well. I love the music. Love music box. The human heart is soft. The human heart is soft, like a fistful of fine sand. Pretty. So, You must be very careful with how you handle it. That's so colorful. I love that. Beautiful game. I'm so excited. Oh. Croquis and palette. So are we a painter if we have a painter's palette? What's a croquis? Okay. Croquois, maybe? I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. I never imagined my wish would come true. My wish of tearing open people's souls? You've made me so... happy. Somehow this doesn't seem happy. This kind of seems creepy more like, right? Oh my god. Getting the chills. Drip. 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 Please be rain. Ah! Is this our office? Our studio? It started to rain. Our atelier. Oh, look at his hands. I love when you've painted for a lot and then you like look at yourself and you look like a painting yourself. That is my moment of bliss. Mindlessly, I moved my brush. The patter of the rain mingled with the faint scritching of paint spreading across the canvas. Why is it so slow? Can I, hang on. Can I quickly change it? No? Okay, cool. Well, I'm sorry. We'll have to stick to it, I guess. The sound slowly filled my empty head. Oh my god, he does look fierce, doesn't he? It felt like my insides were melting. Oh yay. Melting in the heat of the dark desire I had just harvested. What do you mean by that? But before that feeling faded away entirely, I needed to get it out of my system. I needed to capture it on the canvas. Relatable. Telly?
かつての高里組の構想で廃墟となり、それ以来整備が行われていません。
Are you supposed to not see anything?
おい
Ooh. Hey.
おい
Hey. Oh, we sleeping.
起きろ
Wake up.
いつまで寝てるんだ
I swear you sleep too much. A familiar deep voice spoke into my ear, summoning me back to the waking world. Was it morning, or closer to noon, or was it later than that? I'd slept like the dead, and my perception of time was shot. I lifted my head from the sofa where I lay face down. My eyelids were practically glued shut. Blinking, I forced them open. What time had I gone to bed last night? Definitely sometime past midnight. At some point, I had passed out on the sofa.
もう昼だぞ 出勤時間はとうに過ぎてる
It's already noon, pal. Your shift started hours ago. At this, I sluggishly pushed myself up into a sitting position. Oh my god, doctor! Hello. Am I a doctor? I thought I was a painter or an interrogator. Like, what? Do I have 3 jobs? The other men peered closely at me. The other men peered closely at me, exuding orange smoke. What? This was Murase Takuma, or Taku for short.
お前な常々思ってるんだが本当に働く気があるのか
You know, I keep wondering, do you even give a damn about this job?
ああ
Sure.
おいちゃんと目を見て返事しろ
Hey, look me in the eye when you speak to me. I looked up into Taku's reproachful eyes. His brow was furrowed deeply.
あるって
I said yes. As I spoke, I grabbed a pack of cigarettes off the coffee table, pulled one out and put it between my lips. I'm not sure you'd are allowed to smoke in the hospital.
あのな、悠長にタバコを吸ってる暇があるなら、とっとと起きて支度しろってんだ。
Look here, buddy. You don't have time to kick back with a cigarette. Get your ass up and get dressed. Right as I lit my cigarette and took my first slow drag, Taku reached out and ruffled my hair. Oh, I shook my head slightly to knock his hand away.
Good
grief. It's kind of funny because it sounds like Taku. Like his name. Okay, Taku let out an exaggerated sigh. His other arm carried a stack of clean clothes. He was the sort of busybody who would periodically come into my apartment to clean and do laundry. What? Why? According to him, it would turn into a pigsty otherwise, and he was correct. But why would he do that for us?
ここに置いておくぞ。
Is he our stepdad or something? Like what? I'll just leave these here. He set the clean laundry on the bed, then turned to the door.
しかしこの部屋、ほんと油臭いよな。
So he came to our place. I'm sorry. I don't know why I was assuming that we were in hospital. But he's wearing scrubs. Do you wear them out? Probably not, right? No. Okay, whatever. I gotta say, this room really reeks of paint fumes.
今更だろ。
Oh, now you care?
まあ、別に嫌いじゃないが
I
な。
don't really mind it. Oh my god, his mouth moves. And his eyes, too. His heavy footsteps, I don't like that.
それとお前、またテレビつけっぱなしだったぞ。いい加減ちゃんと消してから寝ろよ。
Oh yeah, and another thing. You keep leaving the TV on. You need to turn that crap off before you go to sleep.
多分な。
I'll try.
多分ってなんだ。
Better.
それじゃ、下で待ってるぞ。早く来いよ。
Anyway, I'll be downstairs. Hurry down, alright? And with that, he left. The paint smell could be traced to the stuff I'd piled over in the corner. A bunch of canvases, a slapdash collection of paints, a well-worn palette, and a handful of brushes. A forest of rectangular canvases, a disorganized pile of paints, old worn-out palettes and brushes. But the fumes didn't bother me, or maybe I was just used to them by now. I hope it's not oil paint. Like, I don't think that... Oh my god! Fan service right away. Also, why do you have so many scars? What is this scar? Did you have heart surgery? What? I leaned back against the sofa, a cigarette between my lips, forcing my fuzzy brain to think. What happened yesterday? I bit back a yawn. My body felt like lead. Oh, not the good kind of scars. Oh, that's right. Yesterday I'd gone out late at night to drink at the usual place. Then some rando started talking to me. I was totally blitzed, so when he invited me to leave, I jumped at the chance without even looking at him. Then he led me into a narrow alley, and for some reason, we were both so horny, we started screwing right there, okay? Even I couldn't tell you I was so worked up. Now my back ached from being slammed up against a brick wall. The guy wasn't much of a lay. Yikes. How old was he? 20s? No, maybe early 30s? Regardless, I must have accidentally taken too many pills when I got home because I slept like a log. Wow, what a lifestyle, bro. What? It was Taku who prescribed them to me in the first place, since I'd always been kind of an insomniac. And the nights I didn't take them, I'd either have terrifying nightmares, relatable, or I'd drift in and out of sleep all night long, sometimes until noon. Yep, relatable. It's called depression. Last night I was so drunk I couldn't remember how many I'd taken. Nothing new though. I knew you weren't supposed to take medicine with alcohol in your system. Yeah, as a result, I've always felt like shit. Taku kept telling me to knock it off, but I had no plans to stop. Oh god. Self-destructive, we love it. I pinched the cig between my fingers, drew my sleeve to my nose, and took a whiff. It reeked of booze, smoke, and sweat. I knew Taku wanted me downstairs ASAP, but I needed a shower. Last time I went to work at this state, the elderly patients gave me dirty looks. Right. Cigarette in mouth, I rose to my feet and stretched, but then I became aware of my empty stomach. With the idle realization that my body was hungry, I slid my gaze over the table and floor. What I sought wasn't food, but booze. Why? You're about to head to work. I seem to remember leaving a half-empty bottle somewhere around here, but couldn't find it. Yeah, thank God. Did Taku move it? If so, he probably put it back in the fridge. But to me, getting stuff out of the fridge was too much effort. Well, whatever keeps you from drinking shit. If you offered me food or alcohol, I'll take the booze without hesitation. Food never interested me much. Healthy! Oh, yikes. He really needs help. With nothing to drink, my only option was to take one last drag, then crush my cigarette in the ashtray. As I exhaled grey smoke, I trudged into the bathroom and stepped into the shower stall. Okay. He needs help. Ah! Nitra and Chiral! Oh my god. Okay, okay. Ah! Oh my god, I love it! It's so stylized! I love it! Ah! He's so pretty too! Death Wish. So there's Taku, Rei, Madarame, okay, like the painter, Fujieda, someone else, Eiji Kotaru and Mayu. Oh my god. What a pretty game. I have to look up when it was released. It has to be new, right? Ah! Oh my. Yeah, he's not living a terribly happy life, is he? Oh god. Okay. Maybe all his wounds are self-inflicted? Oh yeah. Oh my god, I love it. That was so fun. Oh my god, if I had my camera installed, everyone would have seen me dancing. Like, it was that was fun. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this game. Ah, okay, I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Okay, Tokyo in the year 20 Twixty? Yeah, in the year 20 Twixty. After Japan went to great lengths to hold the Olympic Games, the international sporting event ended in record-breaking failure. Burdened with massive debt, the nation was plunged into economic insecurity. Money! The poverty rate, which had been slowly growing since the late 2010s, showed no signs of abating. Then, starting in the early 2020s, the gulf between the rich and the poor widened dramatically. Young people in particular were especially impoverished, and the and the underemployment rate soared to more than 60% for both men and women. Even with a full-time job, they knew they would be overworked and underpaid. Thus, the suicide rate shot up. Yeah, oh gosh. Also increasing exponentially among young people for the first time ever, homelessness and crime rates. Oh god. This is horrible. The nation of Japan was visibly heading into decline. This was a major recession on a historic level. Oh yikes. That is horrible. What do you even do in that situation? The one outlier was Shinkomi. Previously called Tokyo Waterfront City, this was the only part of the country where casinos were legally allowed to operate. As a result, it was re-established as a special economic zone. But the government's infamous casino bill received criticism on all sides. At the start of construction, the hired contractor, the Takasato Gumi, was suspected of rigging bids for the contract. Of course. After a tremendous struggle, they eventually settled on a more realistic proposal. The bill would only legalize small-scale public casinos in specific areas. When the dust settled, all that remained was a steel frame monument on a vacant lot and a community of prostitutes and vagrants. You know what? Isn't casinos only good for the economy, like for the rich economy? Because from what I understand, isn't it mostly like poor people that actually participate in casino games, trying to win, and then get more angry when they eventually lose everything they have, or like what little they had, right? So wouldn't it only like grow animosity towards the government? right? I'm not sure. Whatever. Sorry, I'm really bad at articulating. But then there came a turning point. Oh, the Yakuza. The leader of the Takasato Ryujiro. Oh my god. Ryujiro? Let's say it in English. I'm sorry. Ryujiro offered to buy the whole thing and take over operations. Everyone assumed it would end in failure, but as it turned out, he received a great deal of funding behind the scenes. In this dark era, the people wanted someone to change things, so they clung to the first ray of hope they thought they saw. Plagued with crushing national debt and a dying economy, the government had no other option. A short time later, after an agonizing debate, the Takasato Gumi was given full control of Shinkumi development and operations. None opposed the subsequent amendment to the casino bill, which slashed the public-only requirement. Oh, okay. Ooh. A year later, the city was overflowing with people in pursuit of liberty and money. Lured in by all-encompassing resort facilities, international tourism increased by 60%! Wow! And so Shinkumi became known as Japan's biggest casino resort. Office buildings and recreational attractions sprang up one after another, creating a massive entertainment district. Next came the residential and business districts, and after that Shinkumi became the one bright spot amid the devastating depression. Wow, what an achievement! Meanwhile, it required a certain amount of aggressive force to control a world full of unspoken rules. As Shinkumi brought Japan's economy back to life, the Takasato Gumi began to expand their control. Yakuza, no? Eventually, when the tacit threats stopped working, the government designated Shinkumi as a special administrative region. Wow, they just cut them off. Can't control it, let's just... After that, the Takasato Gumi essentially had their own little nation that they could govern as they saw fit. Wow. Wow, what a move. But this slapdash prosperity was never destined to last long. Everything began to decline at a slow, leisurely pace. Now, more than a decade later, in the year 20XX... Ooh. Wow, why is it so dark here? What? No lights in this district. No light for you. The generation born during the decline of the early 21st century were henceforth called hapless children. Day in and day out, they traveled to the business district either to forget their chronic depression or earn enough money to eat that day. Oh, wow. The casino industry was still thriving, but the bubble had burst. And as Shinkumi started to decay, criminal activity became more and more common. Nevertheless, with one last shred of hope in their hearts, they lingered in this lawless town. Yeesh. Well, well, well. That is sad. I'm sorry, but like, wow. Okay. And you thought the best way to make money is by painting? Like, what? It's no use. This just isn't enough. Not anymore. Oh, chrysanthemum? Chapter 1. Fraise. Okay. Nice shower. On a quiet corner of a residential block. Murase Clinic stood concealed among the rows of prefab houses. This tiny clinic first opened 7 years ago, privately owned and operated by Murase Takuma himself. Specializing in internal medicine, dermatology, and gastroenterology, Dr. Murase had an upstanding reputation that attracted patients not just from the local neighborhood, but workers from the business district too. The clinic opened its doors somewhat late at 10 a.m. From 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m., Taku would take a long lunch, and then after he got back, he'd stay open until 1 a.m. Until 1 a.m.? What? Why? His unusual hours were dearly appreciated by night workers who couldn't find time to go to the doctor otherwise. 1 a.m.? I had a part-time job here at this clinic. In exchange for low wages, Taku let me sleep in the apartment upstairs on the top floor of the clinic. Below that, the second floor was home to the secondary medical ward, full of hospital cots. The primary medical ward was down on the first floor next to the exam room. As for Taku himself, he didn't live here at the clinic. I never asked for this job or his rented room. It was all his idea. He wanted me to build character or something. That was why he never fired me, no matter how badly I overslept. Conversely, you could say he didn't put any stock in me whatsoever. But why would he go out of his way for you? I didn't fight it, since it would only create more of a hassle, but I wasn't interested in improving my life. If he got sick of me and threw me out on the street, then so be it. Oh yikes. He's not in a good state. I felt no fear toward the future. Not because I couldn't picture it, but because I had no real sense of urgency. I knew it would all work out regardless. Or maybe I just didn't have anything left to lose. You always have more to lose than you think. There's a lot to lose still. Now I also had to yawn, god damn it. Okay. As soon as I walked out of the bathroom, a yawn escaped my lips. I hadn't bothered to dry my hair. Sleepily, I scanned the room with my blurry eye. Why do we only have one eye? What happened to the other one? On a whim, my gaze settled on the pocket watch hanging on the easel in the corner of the room. I couldn't remember when or where I got it, but Ray put it on the easel before he found it laying around somewhere in my room. So pretty. That was a few years back. The watch itself was stopped, but I didn't feel like winding it, so it was basically just there for decoration. Instead of the non-functioning pocket watch, I looked up at the wall clock. It was just past 11:15. If I didn't hurry down to the first floor, Taku was going to come raging up here any minute now. As he should. Jesus. I got dressed and left the apartment without bothering to lock it behind me. Then I walked to the elevator and pressed the down button. There was nothing in that apartment worth stealing anyway. Your artwork? Paints? What? The pocket watch? Okay. Oh, so pretty. The UI is really pretty in this game. I rode the elevator down to the first floor, then headed into the waiting room. Sitting at the reception desk where I worked was an uptight guy by the name of Arimura Tsukasa. I love the name Tsukasa. Oh god. You don't look like Wings. When he spotted me, he scowled, rose to his feet, and left the... Oh, Tsubasa is rings. I'm sorry. It's Wings. Sorry. Oh god. I'm all over the place. Tsukasa is still a really nice name though. When he spotted me, he scowled, rose to his feet, and left the desk. The look on his face screamed, "You're late!" Fair. Technically, I was supposed to be covering the reception desk, but Arimura must have come in to cover for me. This happened on occasion, and that occasion happened a lot. An aura of faded blue swayed around Arimura. I called this aura, colorful aura, smoke. Apparently, only I could see it. Each person had their own uniquely colored smoke, which shifted depending on their mental state. The most obvious change happened when someone was angry. The color would get muddy. I couldn't see my own smoke, however. No clue when I first started seeing it. From what I could remember, I used to think everyone could see it. Once I found out that wasn't the case, I stopped telling people about it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Having autism makes your brain weird. Anyway, was it some kind of superpower? Probably not. More than likely, it was proof that something was wrong with me, like a hallucination. Hence, I generally didn't give it much thought.
Yo.
That's all you're gonna say, seriously? I called out to Arimura in spite of his resting bitch face. Oh my god. Where do you even begin with that? I'm too German to just suck it up, you know? I would be so fucking pissed. There's no coming late into work and then multiple times and then a whole hour. In Germany, if you're late for an entire hour, they would already be like thinking about calling the police after calling everyone they know is in your life. Like, they would be like, oh my god, she must have been in a terrible accident if she's late for an hour, right? What? Okay, whatever. He was the most reliable nurse Murasek Clinic had. Whenever his shift ended, he would go downtown to go drinking at a gay bar. Apparently, I wasn't his type. So he's gay as well. Interesting. Yes?
遅れて悪かったって。
Look, I'm sorry I'm late, alright?
いいえ。それは今更なのでもういいです。
No, I'm quite used to that by now.
それより、自分宛ての荷物はちゃんと持って行ってください。いつも置きっぱなしじゃないですか。
More importantly, I wish you'd take your things to your room instead of leaving them lying around.
ああ。放置するなら処分しますから。
Or would you prefer I threw it all out? Ooh, passive aggressive. All mail delivered to the clinic was taken to the staff room. Arimura was in charge of sorting it. Sometimes I would buy art supplies or books online, but other than that, I never got any packages. So if I received anything else in the mail, I just assumed it was junk and didn't bother collecting it.
それでいいよ。
What? Yeah, go ahead. Huh? At least look into it. His eyes narrowed even further, but I ignored him and stepped into the staff room. The reception desk and staff room were divided by a single curtain. I pushed past it and arrived at the reception desk interior. Arimura gave me a dirty look and walked off down the hall. Wow, he looks absolutely destitute. Like, oh gosh. Maybe we can heal him. I don't know. Please, anime logic, make it work. From here on, I would spend the next few hours bored out of my skull. The clinic was quiet, peaceful, and utterly devoid of stimulus. I called the next patient up to pay their bill. Then I set their medical exam card, insurance card, itemized bill, and prescription up on the counter. Robotically, I processed the payment. Then, biting back another yawn, I called for the next patient to proceed to the exam room. Okay. Alright, so this is our day job, I guess. Interesting. So we don't sell our paintings? We just paint for ourselves? Toa's Atelier. Today my shift ended in the afternoon, so I headed back to my apartment. I lounged lazily on the sofa for a while, then after the clinic closed, I headed back downstairs. No real reason, I was just bored of my apartment. Yeah, also very relatable. This is a very relatable game. So it has to be like past 1 a.m. in the like what? In the middle of the night? Okay. Oh, another hard day of work over at last. As I sat slumped on a bench in the empty waiting room, Taku walked out from the hallway, his orange smoke hanging over him. Stretching his arms up, he turned his head from side to side. Was that his bones cracking that we just heard? What? Cracking his neck so loudly, I half wondered if he broke something.
お疲れ。
Good work today. I didn't mean a word of it, though. He snorted at me.
寝坊常習犯に言われたくないな。
Wish I could say the same for you, Mr. Chronic Oversleeper.
ちゃんと働いただろ。
Hey, I worked hard.
そう言いたければ朝はちゃんと起きろよ。俺。
If you want me to believe that, then try waking up on time. Here. He pulled something out of his coat pocket and tossed it at me. I caught it and looked down. It was a can of coffee.
入れてくれないのか？
Can? Not fresh? Dude, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just be like, thanks.
お前なんか缶コーヒーで十分だ。
Buddy, you don't deserve fresh coffee. Also, shouldn't you head to bed instead of drinking caffeine, right? That being said, he was still treating me to a free drink as a token of his appreciation. Taku bought canned coffee in bulk and kept the staff room fridge stocked at all times for this exact reason. Oh my god, I love him. Why is he so kind to us? Sometimes when he was feeling up to it, he'd make fresh coffee instead, but for the most part, he took the faster, easier option. Fresh coffee is more delicious
備品の発注と掃
and
除
cheaper.
終わりました。
Place the orders, finish the cleaning, and I'm all done. Oops, what happened? Okay. Right as I cracked open the can, the exam room door opened and a bubbly voice rang out. Ah! It's another love interest. Hello. It was Izumire, one of the other part-timers. Oh my god, Handa-kun, everyone? Anyone? Like, Lei-kun? No, Leo-kun, I think, right? Rayo is his name. Oh my god. Okay. Similar. Anyway. His main job was at a bar called Roost, but since they didn't open until 5 p.m., he would often pick up shifts at the clinic to fill the time. Evidently, he wasn't working at Roost tonight, since he was still here this late. Our clinic employed 2 nurses, 4 part-timers, and 1 doctor.
お、ありがとな。
Great, thanks a ton. Smiling, Taku looked over at Ray and raised a hand in acknowledgement.
全然いいのよ。気にしないで。
No trouble at all, like, don't even worry about it.
お疲れ。
Good work today. But as soon as Ray laid eyes on me, he stormed right over to me.
ちょっと
Excuse you.
うん
Hmm?
あんた今日も寝坊したでしょう。有村君に仕事を押し付けて。
You totally overslept again, didn't you? Poor Arimura had to pick up your slack.
少しだけだろ。
Just for a little.
開き直らないの。
Don't try to
寝坊は
justify
寝
it.
坊よ。
Don't try to justify it, mister. You were late. He put his hands on his hips and scolded me like he was my mom. I like him. But his smoke was bright yellow, and since it wasn't swaying, I could tell he wasn't really that angry. Born to a Japanese father and an English mother, he had a well-sculpted face. Because of this, he was wildly popular with our patients, particularly women.
もうあんまり迷惑かけないようにしてよね。有村君とっても真面目に働いてくれてるんだから。
God, will you quit causing problems for everyone? Arimura-kun takes his job super seriously, just FYI.
そうだそうだ。もっと言ってやれ。
Yeah, you tell him. Taka leaned back against the reception counter and cracked open his can with a smirk. Believe it or not, he was pretty well liked too. Yeah, of course. Excuse me? Look at him. Daddy. Hiding beneath that stubble and post-work fatigue. Oopsala. Hiding beneath his stubble and post-work fatigue was a manly, rough-hewn face. Plus, the patients all praised his warm bedside manner. To them, this messy hair and stubble was rugged rather than lazy. Yeah, definitely. Lazy. Someone who constantly works is not lazy. This is rugged. This is hot, alright? Weird how this somehow never applied to me.
で、そういや有村君は帰ったか？
Wait, where's Arimura-kun? Did he leave already?
とっくの昔に。
Yeah, a long time ago.
そうか。今日はいつもより長く入ってくれて助かったよ、レイ。ありがとな。
Well, thanks for staying longer than your usual shift, Ray. You were a big help.
どういたしまして。お礼はスイーツでもいいのよ。
You're very welcome. You can thank me by buying me dessert sometime.
ファミレスのパフェでいいか？
How about a parfait at the dinner? Yeah, at the
Okay.
diner. Okie doke. Yeah! As I watched their conversation from the sidelines, my gaze drifted to Taku.
疲れてるな。
You look tired.
ん？
Hmm?
疲れてる。顔が。
Your face. You look tired.
おう。
Grimacing, he touched his cheek and sighed. Granted, he always looked tired, but lately it was more noticeable than ever.
何？疲れてるの？
What?
寝不足？
What's wrong? Not getting enough sleep?
それもあるが気づかれだ。
That's part of it, but mostly I'm just drained.
気疲れ？
Mentally?
はあ
Yeah. He let out an even bigger sigh.
うちの患者さん、夜の仕事についてる人も多いだろ？
You know how most of our patients work the night shift?
そうね。昼間はお年寄りや子連れの人もいるけど、深夜になると男女関係なく夜の仕事の人が増えるわね。
Okay, so it's like... So he's probably also playing a little bit of psychiatrist, seeing... Yeah, okay, I get it. During the day we get kids and old folks, but once it gets late, we start getting a lot of night workers. So, yeah. Okay, a lot of people with a lot of issues.
ま、その中には事情があって働いてるって人も結構いてな。診察中に悩みを相談されることもあるわけだ。
Well, some of them have a lot of baggage, let's say. And sometimes they ask me for advice during their checkup.
悩みって。ああ、メンタル面でってことか。
Advice? Oh, you mean like mental health stuff?
そうだ。家庭の事情だったり、友人や知人には簡単に話せないような重い話だったりな。
Right. Heavy stuff they can't tell their friends, like family problems, that kind of thing.
心の方は専門外だから治療できんが、相談があった時はできる限り話を聞くようにはしてる。
I'm not a therapist, so I can't treat mental illness, but if they want advice, I try my best to hear them out.
無下にするわけにもいかないし、それで患者さんの心が少しでも軽くなるならいいだろう？
I can't just ignore him, you know? And if talking about it makes him feel better, then why not? Because you're not trained to, you know... It's kind of like, it's difficult to take all of that in yourself and not have a place to vent and stuff. You're not trained to, like, be, what's it called? Emotionally distanced, I suppose? I'm not sure. It's just, not a good idea.
そう
Oh
ね。
god. I guess that is insanely draining. Right.
で、悩み相談ってのは前からちょくちょくあったんだが、どうも最近そういう患者さんが多くてな。
See, I've been doing it here and there for a while now, but lately there's been a lot.
多い？増えたってこと？
What, like a lot more than usual?
うん。少し前までは1週間に1人2人くらいだったんだが、明らかに増えてる。それに、
Yeah, before it'd get maybe one or two a week, but now there's a ton of them, and not only that. He seemed to remember something. He stopped short and looked away.
切羽詰まった患者さんが増えた気がするんだ。話をしているうちに泣き出したり、いきなり声を荒げたりと
Oh
かな。
god. That is horrible. It feels like the stress has been getting to a lot of them. Some of them will start screaming or crying in the middle of the conversation.
たまに診察室から怒鳴り声が聞こえてくるけど、あれってそういうことだったんだ。
Aha, I was wondering what all that yelling was about in the exam room.
できることならメンタルケアもしてやりたいとは
It wasn't a shot,
思
I
うんだ
guess.
が、そうもいかないからな。
I'd like to offer mental health care if I can, but there's just not a lot I can do. Also, I don't think you can take that up on top of everything else.
ただ、感情が高ぶってる状態の患者をないがしろにするわけにもいかんだろ。
Thing is, when they're all worked up like that, I can't exactly tell them to get out, you know?
そうね。
Right.
最近診察時間がやけに長い患者さんがいるなぁとは思ってたけど。
Right. I did notice some of your appointments have been taking longer than usual lately.
どう対応したらいいものかってずっと考えてるんだが。
Yeah, and I keep trying to figure out what to do about it, but... Rubbing the back of his hand, Taku let out his third sigh of the night. Maybe get another staff member to like offer specified times if you really want to keep sorry, there's military training outside or something. So maybe offer a designated time slot, you know, where people can vent so that your other sessions will be free of that, because obviously it's interfering if it's not, you know, moderated, I guess. Oopsala. Sorry. I keep forgetting that the UI is there. I wish it was here. But really, was it any wonder that more and more of his patients were starting to have mental health problems? No. Over the past decade, Japan's younger generation had been plunged into extreme poverty. A few years ago, you'd see people on TV yelling about the 2030 age demographic's inability to save money or find a stable career, but now it was even worse. These days, you saw women curled up in their underwear on the sidewalk while men started fights and mugged strangers. Young teenagers would dress in slutty clothes to work the corners. Compared to 10 years ago, there were a lot more murder cases, and many of them were either unsolved or dropped. Oh god. The cops were useless too. They couldn't keep up with the growing number of criminals. But of course, here under the Takasatagumi's thumb, the Shinkumi police force was basically just here for decoration. The gig economy had become commonplace, so jobs were scarce, the cost of living was high, and wages were at an all-time low. These things all helped drive people to rock bottom, where they had no choice but to keep living. The nation of Japan was seeing povertization on a level that a few decades ago was never seen outside dystopian fiction. Oh my god, isn't there any other country that's like, maybe we should help, you know? Shinkumi had a disproportionately large number of hospitals, possibly in correlation to the crime levels. Naturally, there were plenty of unlicensed or back-alley doctors to be found there. These days, hospitals probably had to serve as battered women's shelters on top of everything else. Oh my god! Okay. Like Taku said, doctors had a sworn duty to help people, and people here needed help. Not just with their bodies, but with their minds too. Yeah. We have, in Germany, we have something called women's houses. You know, Frauenhäuser. It's like for battered women and like women in a situation where they need somewhere to stay where nobody can find them, kind of, you know, where they're safe. And I think that's an amazing concept. I very much support that. I've been to one twice. Yeah, I've been there twice. Okay.
つまり心を病んでるやつが多いってことだろ。
So basically, you got a lot of nut jobs coming in. Tak and Ray both turned to look at me. How can you be so insensitive?
その言い方、俺は好かんな。
Can't say I appreciate that term.
別に間違ってない。
I'm just telling it like it is. What? I downed my coffee, set the empty can on the floor, and rose to my feet.
どこ行くの？
Where are you going?
散歩。
For a walk. Take your trash with you! God damn it!
ちょっと。
Are you kidding me? Hello? Yeah, what the frick is our main character? What? What is he on about? But I ignored Ray's frustrated retort, walked to the front door, and left the building. Exhaling white fog into the cold air, I reached into the back pocket of my pants and pulled out my cigarettes. I'd forgotten to grab a coat, but I was too lazy to go back and get one, so I figured I'd be fine. As I walked down the dirty sidewalk, I put a cigarette between my lips and lit it. In Shinkumi, the nights were long. If anything, it had only just begun. Like usual, I stumbled around town on a whim, looking for a one-night stand. What? But not because I was especially lonely or sought another human's warmth or anything like that. I felt no love, no passion, no desire. All of my emotions had rusted over. Okay. Sex was just the only way I could feel anything at all. Oh god, this is terrible! Like, this is truly, truly terrible. His mind is in tatters. Well, not the only way. The only way was through violence, fistfights. But what I wanted was an all-out brawl enough to kill me. And I knew there were very few people in this world capable of that. Wow. Most people I fought had held back, even just subconsciously, afraid to hurt me beyond a certain threshold. Thus, there was no point in looking for someone special. Generally speaking, I felt very little in the way of standard human emotions. No idea when it started, but I probably wasn't born like this. Yeah, it's called growing cold in the presence of trauma. Sometimes I got irritated when people nagged me too much, but for the most part, I held it in. Other people seemed to see me as an unfeeling monster. But in the rare moments that I was overcome with powerful impulses, when I was, oh god, raspberried or beaten, that was when I truly felt joy. Okay. I mean, and while many were too scared to enact violence directly, there were plenty in this town that loved to hurt people on the inside. So yeah, I had a lot of hookups. If you asked me if I liked sex, I would say yes. But I wasn't interested in learning about the person attached to the dick, nor did I feel like telling them about me. I just wanted them to use me like like a toy, then throw me away. That was the compromise I was willing to make. Oh gosh. I really hope Anime Logic will let us help him. I really do. Because he's truly, truly in a downward spiral. The next day, I didn't work at the clinic, so I slept in until noon. With the TV on. Toa said not to leave it on. Anyway, I awoke lying on my back on the sofa. I sat up, lit a cigarette, and took a drag. In the end, I never did find a hookup last night. Instead, I picked a random bar, had some drinks, and went home. All in all, it was a pretty tame night, considering the previous night where I drank until I blacked out. Because of that, it felt lackluster. I took my time enjoying my cigarette, gazing at the TV that had been left on all night. Oh my god, the bills. Then suddenly a new chyron flashed up on screen. Takasato Gumi leader Takasato Ryujiro, 81, dead of heart failure. Ooh, so things are going to change. Oh, the TV said it. My eye was locked on the white text. The leader of the Takasato Gumi was dead. So things will change around here. But then the surprise faded. The new leader will take over and, change stuff. It could be better, it could be worse. It will definitely be different. For the record, I had been informed that this man was my biological father! What? What? Excuse me? Where does this come from? What? Okay. My mother was his mistress. In other words, I was his illegitimate son. And he's never looked for you? What? That said, I had next to no memory of being around him. Frankly, I could only vaguely remember what he looked like. so I didn't have much of an emotional response to the news of his passing. Also, 81? How old are we? What? Just sort of, he died. I looked away from the TV and leaned back against the sofa. Just then, I heard a muffled buzzing noise and realized the cell phone on the far edge of the sofa was ringing. Sakaki? I picked it up and looked at the screen. Sakaki was calling. I could also see a series of notifs that indicated he'd been calling for a while. Who is he? He probably wanted to talk about my father, and if so, I wasn't interested. I dropped the phone back onto the sofa without answering it. Cigarette dangling from my lips. I stared up at the ceiling. Maybe there's an inheritance, you know? Or maybe he's warning you about something, you know? I had no real plans for today. Maybe I'd wander around downtown. With that thought, I took a long, deep drag. It's gonna be very tumultuous, isn't it? Exhaling smoke, I crushed my cigarette in the ashtray. Then I rose to my feet and pulled on my coat. Now then, where to? Ah! Pardon the interruption! We will now briefly explain the exploration segments. Please bear with us for just a few moments. When an objective pops up on screen, you know it's time for exploration. This time the objective is go somewhere. During exploration, you're free to prowl the city of Shinkumi. You can go places, talk to people, and learn about the city. When you arrive at the correct destination, exploration will conclude and the story will progress. You can progress the story immediately if you so desire, or you can explore the city first before you continue. You're free to play however you see fit. To check your objective, move the cursor to the right-hand edge of the screen. In this case, the objective is go somewhere. So let's move this party somewhere else. Okay, where do we go? Right-hand side of the screen. Excuse me? Oh, okay. I just had to click. So, okay. Toa's atelier. Talk or move. Oh, what's a croquis? Ah, so this is like all our people. And it's our sketchbook, I guess. Smoke color. Dull blue. Bright yellow. Orange. Ah, okay. We're gonna move. Damn hell we're gonna move. Okay, where are we going? Where are we going? Residential area. A vast swath of high-rise condo buildings encircling District A. The majority of Shinkumi residents live in one of the pencil towers. Shopping district. The main street occupying the center of District E. Here you'll find convenience stores, drugstores, diners, and places to buy various other sundries. Shopping district, here we go. Okay, this is Murase Clinic. Taku started it up 7 years ago. For a small privately run facility, it has a good reputation that draws in patients, not only from the neighborhood, but the downtown area as well. The doors open a bit later than most, at 10 a.m., but in exchange, it stays open until 1 a.m., which is helpful for patients that work the night shift. Haven't we already seen this? What? In general, Shinkumi has a lot of hospitals. Most of them are either single rooms or large-scale facilities. Okay, this is new. So in that sense, a standalone building like Murase Clinic is apparently rather unusual. Okay. Just then, I sensed someone's gaze and looked over. I thought I saw something slip into the shadow of a building. Or was my mind playing tricks on me? What's that music? Like, what? Who are you? What?
Oh.
Shady green-haired man. Oh, God. Okay, if you encounter someone during exploration, try talking to them. Talking to them might give you inspiration. Let's try it out. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Let's talk to them.
Oh.
It's you. You're Toa, right? Yeah. What should I do? When you select talk, the hourglass and jacket line will appear. This is a simplified version of the interrogation, wherein you'll respond with negative or positive answers. For a refresher on interrogation, check the interrogation section of how to play. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see it says Euphoria Up. Unlike real interrogation segments, exploration chats show the results of negative and positive answers in advance. Euphoria Up means it will raise your euphoria gauge. Okay. And Euphoria Down means it will lower the euphoria gauge. Okay. What should I do? Now see the what should I do text at the bottom of the screen? If you choose to respond accordingly, you'll gain new inspiration. Some targets don't care which way you respond. Gaining inspiration is never guaranteed, so feel free to explore every inch of the city. Now let's try it out. Okay. Wait and see or play along? We're gonna play along.
ポジティブに
Positive. This is like a mixture of Danganronpa, Dramatical Murder, and Persona 5. Like, what? I love it. Okay, so what if I am? You're Toa, right? And the reason I know, because he knows, right? He who? I'm going to surpass him. My name isn't Inara. Okay. There's no inspiration to be gained this time around. Some inspiration segments offered, while others don't. You'll be able to tell the difference based on the objective. Okay. Red text means it's a special segment where no inspiration is available. Okay. But blue text means inspiration is out there, just waiting to be found. You'll see blue text most often. Red text is less common. But because this is a tutorial, it counts as a special exploration. This concludes the exploration tutorial. Okay. Now you can go back to enjoying slow damage. Thanks. Okay. Bye! Gotta go! Jesus Christ. Also, I would like to go to the shopping district, please. God. Daddies. Well. Hotel Grand Cross. Endless Summer. Okay. There's a lot of hotels. Hair salon. Mizue. Okay. This is the main street at the center of District E. For the most part, residents of District E pass through here to do their shopping. With all the diners, convenience stores, discount stores, and drugstores packed in like sardines, it's easy to find what you need. The streets are busy, though not as packed as District D. Everywhere you look, there's people working or people getting wasted. Already? It's like before 12 in the afternoon, right? The traffic light changed, and the crowd started walking. But just then, I spotted a familiar face out of the corner of my eye. It was Ray, carrying a paper bag in one hand.
あら
Well. Oh, hi, Toa. What are you doing here?
よ
Just wandering. You? On my way back from Tajima's. She gave me a bunch of stuff, so I thought I'd share some with Taku. Again? It was a thank you gift for helping her. I really like you! Okay. You're kind.
ね
You're kind and pretty. Oh, that reminds me. I left a croquet in the fridge for you. Did you eat it? Oh, thank you. Obviously I ate a little.
ポジティブに
Be nice. Positive. A little.
え
For real? Just a bite.
やった
Still, that's a big step for you. Oh, he's so cute. I added condensed milk when I was making them. It's supposed to improve the consistency. Condensed milk and croquets? It sounds crazy, but it works. You tasted it yourself, right? Well, yeah. Next time I think I might try rice croquets.
戻らなくっちゃ
Anyway, I'm headed back to the clinic. All right. So that's it? Yeah, it's red. Okay, so that was nice. Thank you. What a nice little chat. Okay, let's go to the residential area next. See what we find there. And then back to the clinic, I guess. This is District E's residential area. If you live in Shinkumi, chances are high your apartment is in District E. District E is full of skyscrapers, all of them high-rise condo buildings. It's an attempt to make the most living space out of critically limited land area. The downdraft from all the skyscrapers creates strong winds in the area. Not to mention the majority of these buildings aren't up to code, so if we get hit with a major earthquake, they'll probably collapse. Oh, yee. But the residents of District E choose to live here anyway. Someone concerned with safety wouldn't dare live in Shinkumi in the first place. I don't think there's anyone to talk to. Yeah. Okay. No choice but to move, I guess. Let's go back to the clinic. Oh no, we've been there. Sorry. Oh, he's gone. Okay, well. So, Toa's atelier, I guess. Let's go back home. Yeah? Okay, right decision apparently. I returned to my apartment. When I left, the TV was on, but now the familiar static drone was gone. Instead, I could hear a faint rustling sound. Hello!
Toa.
My personal cleaning lady! Oh hey, you're back. Yeah. Welcome home. I was just tidying up in here. If I put it off for too long, the whole place turns into a pigsty. Oh my god, you're such a busybody.
Na,
You need to take better care of yourself, Taku. Seeing as you're here, why don't you help me out a bit? Yeah, you should. Let's be positive. Sure, why not?
ポジティブに
I will
わかった。
make you a good person, Toa. Just you wait and see. Sure thing.
おお。
It's not often you actually do as you're told. Sometimes I feel like it.
へえ。
Alright then. Thanks in advance. Thanks for... Wait, are you thanking me for actually fucking cleaning my own mess? What?
よし。
Parallel universe. There, now it's a bit cleaner. Here's your reward for helping. He pulled a pack of green gum from his pocket. Mint flavor, apparently. Ew. Got it from a patient, but since you still smoke, you probably need it more than I do, yeah?
別に
I prefer the taste of tobacco. Aw, don't be like that. Just take it. He pressed it into my hand, and I reluctantly accepted it. Of course, I give it about a week before you turn this place into a mess again. If you could make it every 2 weeks instead, I'd appreciate it.
それじゃあな。
Anyway, I'm out of here. Alright. Okay. That was really weird. Also, I don't know what to do next. What? On my palette, there's nothing. Off to the snack shop. Huh? Where do I go? Tajima's. Ah, an old snack shop clinging to life among the newer buildings, run by an old woman who's lived here since before Shinkumi went to shit. After attracts customers from all walks of life. So why is these two green? Is there new shit to be discovered here? Okay, before I do that though, this commences the first episode. I think we've played for like an hour again. So let me know what you think. I think this game is not just aesthetically pleasing. I have really high hopes for this game because I'm really, really interested in the interrogation thing. I really want to try it out. So I'm going to keep playing. But for you, the next episode will be out next week. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. And don't worry again, Toga Inu no Chi will be back after we finish one route in this game. Okay? So yeah, thank you very much and have a great day. Take care of yourselves and get something nice to drink, whatever you fancy. Yeah, pamper yourself. Anyway, bye-bye.